world famous Harlem Globetrotters are in town, and we could have had a Globetrotter on. I specifically asked for this gentleman to come on because he's been with the team for a while and seen the ups and downs literally, and that is Eric Nemeth. He's the Senior Director of Publicity for the world-famous Harlem Globetrotters. They have shows tonight, tomorrow, and Saturday night at 7 o'clock, but a lot of other availabilities as well, and we'll get into that. Eric, welcome to the program.
Thanks, Pete. How you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you, and I'm happy that the Globetrotters are back in town. Seems like just yesterday we were having Globetrotters running down after the tram car, and that was the promotion. But then last year you get Bull Bullard up there, and what was the name of that ride with the big slingshot or something like that?
Yeah, the Sky Coaster down there on Maurice Pierce, yeah.
Okay, and then this year he decided to up the ante. Why don't you tell our listeners what he did this year?
Yeah, so like you referenced, he hit that Sky Coaster shot down on Maurice Pierce where he was swinging 60 miles an hour above the beach, comes to a slowdown at the end where he's high in the sky and hit it to a hoop down below. So Bull said, hey, Eric, I want to top that this year. What do you think of a helicopter shot? And they just so happened to have that helicopter ride by East Coast Helicopters on that same pier where the Sky Coaster is, Adventure Pier, and called the guys up there, Tyler and the boys, and they said, absolutely, we're in. So we got ready. We put Bull in the helicopter. We hovered around 210 feet, and he knocked it down. Nothing. Well, actually, it was a backboard. Hit it off the glass. I think he called glass. I couldn't hear him because the helicopter was too loud. But he told me he called glass, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, the videos have gone viral. It's gotten a lot of attention for the Wildwoods and the Globetrotters alike. Which makes it a lot of fun in a time of year when we're typically doing international dates. We come to Wildwood to really engulf ourselves in the community, play these games, do the clinics, and knock down shots from helicopters. So it's a lot of fun.
Eric Nemeth with us. Yeah, you were in the helicopter, right? I thought I saw you in the video. As a former TV guy, what are the logistics? I mean, do you have a selfie stick and you're sticking that out to get that angle of that? What are the logistics of you trying to shoot that and then also hang on for dear life?
Yeah, I happen to own an 8-foot selfie stick from a trick shot we did off the roof of an arena in Long Island, the Nassau Coliseum, where the Islanders used to play. We just did that back in April, and I thought, you know what? I wonder if the selfie stick would break in half if we hung it out the side of the helicopter. And fortunately, it did not because we were high above a lot of people there on the beach. So we just got a couple cool shots of us going up and around, the beautiful beaches of Wildwood and the roller coasters and the Ferris wheel, and then came around and then took that selfie stick in, and then had a more traditional camera that you would be used to. And got the shot from above, had angles down below. We had the folks from Maurice Pierce were out there. John Lynch from the convention center got it on his cell phone. So we had all these different angles. And fortunately, all the cameras were working on the shot that went through the hoop.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, we'll tweet it out on the 97.3 account again so everybody can see it. But the first of 4 games in Wildwood, and then like you hinted at, there's Magic Pass, there's a skills clinic every day from 10 until noon. That's a great way for kids ages 6 to 12 to get behind the magic of the Globetrotter skills. Maybe you could talk a little bit about the added events that take place. It's not just a basketball game at 7 o'clock each night.
Right. So we arrived into town on Tuesday, and you referenced it, the tram car. That's still part of our repertoire. We arrived at town on the tram car, changing that recording to Watch the Globetrotters, Please. And then we go right into our schedule on Wednesday, and we go every day. Wednesday, Thursday being today, tomorrow, Friday, and then again on Saturday. And on each game day, our games are at 7 o'clock, but then in the morning we have a skills clinic for kids ages 6 to 12 on the court with 2 of our Globetrotters. Our actual players are running the clinic. So as opposed to a lot of the clinics you might go to across the country, where the star or the celebrity would come in for 5 minutes or half an hour to talk to the kids, for the full 2 hours, the 2 Globetrotters are running the actual clinic with your kids. And then we go right into our game day after that. We do a Magic Pass pre-show starting at 5:30 that runs for 30 minutes, and then we have the game at 7 that runs for about an hour and 45 minutes. So it's a perfect opportunity to come down. If you're already in the Wildwoods, easy way to check it out if you're in the surrounding areas. If you're local, if you're here vacationing, or if you're a seasonal person, it's a great opportunity to come down, grab dinner in the Wildwoods on the boardwalk, come see the game. You'll be out of here by about 9 o'clock. We do an autograph session after the game that runs for about 30 minutes, and then at 9 o'clock, go out, hang out on the boards, and do the ride. So we can make a full Wildwood experience centered around the Globetrotters. It's a lot of fun.
We're spending some time with Eric Nemeth. He's the Senior Director of Publicity for the Harlem Globetrotters. Has a nice Twitter account with good follows on that, at Eric_Nemeth, Nemeth. The shows are tonight, tomorrow, and Saturday, but as he just said, a lot of added value in things, clinics before and autograph sessions afterwards. I did see your one tweet, Eric, where you had the girls. There's 3 girls, is that right, on the roster? Ace and Hoops and TNT. I know TNT has Temple ties, right? I'm a Temple guy.
Yep, Temple girl, played for Dawn Staley, and she actually became our 9th female Globetrotter about 6 years ago, and she was the first in 20 years. So Lynette Woodard, who's a Basketball Hall of Famer, broke that gender barrier back in 1985. And then we had a long period of time with no females on the team. And then TNT came in, and she was super popular, not only with the girls, but the boys and the autograph session. She always had the longest lines. And we said, well, we're on something here. We have to go find more female talent. And we did tryouts around the country, and we ended up finding another local girl with somewhat local ties in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Ace Jackson. Ace is our female player that's in Wildwood this week. She was down on the beach a couple of weeks ago doing a workout down there, and then we went up to Philly and threw out the first pitch at the Phillies game and had some fun with your buddy Greg Murphy, who I heard on there before. So we have Ace in town here, and she always gets a good response.
Eric, I go back. Is it sad that I'm old enough or good that I'm old enough to have seen Sweet Lou Dunbar play, and now he's the coach?
Yeah, nice. Sweet Lou is the man. He, back in the day when he played, as you know, he had the big afro, and they made a cartoon about Sweet Lou, and he would store things in his hair, and he's the best. He is one of the most genuine people I've ever met, and hilarious. I mean, I've known Lou now for 15 years, but he's been with the Globetrotters for 40, and it's really amazing.
I think of the magic of the Globetrotters, and that's probably the one message you want to get out. Here I was a kid who had had some sort of sickness or illness, and I can remember that my dad came home from work, and his incentive for little Peter Thompson to get better was, here's some tickets to the Globetrotters at the Spectrum. We're going to go see him. And I was beyond thrilled. I mean, I was so excited. And the Sweet Georgia Brown came out and came on. The players started running around in the traditional circle, and all I was looking for was that Curly Neal, and every one of them had hair. And then Curly Neal pulled the wig off, and there he was. Like, that was his little trick. That you say, the bucket doesn't have confetti or doesn't have water. The jokes never get old. The shtick never gets old. It's the world-famous Harlem Globetrotters. I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up Red Klotz, right? He went into the Globetrotters Hall of Fame, and we are right in his backyard here. He was a marvelous Margate guy for so many years, and what Red Klotz brought to the Globetrotters.
Yeah, absolutely. The late great Red Klotz from Margate. He founded the Washington Generals. I think there should be a place in the Hall of Fame for him because he was a huge part in bringing the game of basketball to people that had never seen the sport before, as the Globetrotters and the Generals, toured together and went up against each other for decades in countries all over the world. And Red played a really significant role with that, and we owe him a lot. Unfortunately, he passed away a few years ago, but we remember some great times. He told a great story in 1971 of how he hit the game-winning shot to defeat the Globetrotters. It's the last time the Generals beat the Globetrotters was in 71, and it was on a game winner by Red.
Eric Nemeth is with us, the Senior Director of Publicity for the Harlem Globetrotters. You can find out more information or find tickets at harlemglobetrotters.com. I'll close with this, Eric. I played golf. I was very lucky to play golf with the great Hall of Famer Bob Gibson. He used to have a celebrity tournament, and then they would have an advance thing for the media in advance to sort of promote the event. Bob Gibson, much better pitcher than he was a golfer, but I had looked up, I guess maybe on Wikipedia or something, and said, geez, Bob, I didn't realize you played for the Harlem Globetrotters. And he says, I did, and I was a much better Globetrotter than I am a golfer.
Yeah, that's true from what I understand. I mean, we've had a lot of legends play for the team. Bob is definitely one. Ferguson Jenkins, another baseball Hall of Famer, played for the Globetrotters. I mean, and then the list goes on. Wilt Chamberlain played an entire season with the Globetrotters before he went to the NBA. And then when he got to the NBA, he loved the Globetrotters so much, he played in the Globetrotters every summer over in Europe. And he said it was the best time he ever had playing basketball with the Globetrotters. But yeah, Bob's a good story too. That's really funny.
The world-famous Harlem Globetrotters that are right in our backyard, folks. Get out there and see them tonight, tomorrow, Saturday night. If you want more information, you can go to harlemglobetrotters.com. And did I hear that right? Did you say you've been with the Globetrotters 15 years now? Is it that long already?
Yeah, so I was on the arena side. You know, I was director of PR over at the Wells Fargo Center and Spectrum before it closed down. And the Globetrotters would come through every year, so I got to know some of the guys like Sweet Lou from some of those early days in my career on the venue side. And then I had a chance to move around the country. I worked in Portland, Kansas City, and those arenas out there. And then the Globetrotters again would come through every year. So I came on full time 7 years ago now. So I've been full time with the Globetrotters 7 years, and it's been great. I'm from this area. Grew up coming to Wildwood Crest every summer, and still have local ties here in this area. So it's a lot of fun to have the team in my backyard.
Welcome home to Eric Nemeth, the Senior Director of Publicity for the Harlem Globetrotters. Again, their shows tonight, tomorrow, and Saturday at the Wildwoods Convention Center. And don't forget the Magic Pass or the Skills Clinic that you can take place in as well. Go to harlemglobetrotters.com for more information. Eric, it was a lot of fun. Thanks so much, bud.